Pulling Association is the largest of 3 sanctioned national pulling associations with 16 classes and more than 350 competing vehicles streamed on outlawpulling.tv.
Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting in Rock Valley, Iowa gives their customers the most competitive edge possible. Be supreme. Buy Extreme.
Welcome, Ron Stone, Vice President of the Outlaws. We opened up with Ron Jones, but that's a joke for the MLM Motorsports fans. We have some Outlaw Pulling TV playing behind us. Where's this from, Kinsey? Wisner, Nebraska, Thunder by the River. So
Wisner, it seems like we were just there, right?
Seems like the weather today, Ron, feels like the weather we had in Wisner in 2023. It's hotter.
Oh yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I was trying to get you guys to give Greg a hard time. You know, he's a big Raiders fan and I'm a Chiefs fan, and that's why I was holding up my Chiefs hat while I was back.
I should have brought you on. I think he's off now. Dang it. He's not in the green room anymore, is he? No.
Yeah,
he's been fun like that. Okay.
No, we have fun with that. Greg's a big Raiders fan, and of course that's a huge rivalry for the Chiefs, and I'm a Chiefs fan. So,
but doesn't a rivalry, the other team have to actually compete with them? So
true. Yes, they have to have a team to compete with, and you know, I hope Greg's watching right now. I'm sure he'll get back to me.
Arrowhead
Greg, if you
West.
want to jump back on, Greg, just click on that link. You and Ron can battle it out here a little bit. So,
you know, Greg is also a musician. We have that in common as well. He's actually a drummer. Yeah. So,
well, Ron, we're bringing on all the main voices, the main people of the associations. We got John Mears coming on after you to talk about PPL. We just kind of want to bring you on. Let's talk about the Outlaw season. What are the biggest takeaways in your stories? We got Unionville, Buckner, Bedford, Spencer, Lufkin to finish it up. We've crowned some point champs already. I guess, Ron, you're a hell of an announcer. Just take over. Start talking, my man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But I think a big story I think for me this year is how lucky we are with the weather. Yeah, we didn't get lucky first night of Ravenna. That hopefully that wasn't when it happened. Our opening pull first night we got rained out. But from that point on, we didn't get rained out again until the Iowa State Fair. And as many pulls as we have, I mean, we've had 36 to this point. Still 5 more to go. We're pretty lucky to have gotten so many pulls in without Mother Nature stepping in and stopping the show. Unfortunately, Iowa State Fair really is the only one that got completely rained out. So, no, it's been a great season. Weather has cooperated. I see some things growing here. I see some things happening in some classes, and I'm pretty excited for the off season. We're getting some new interest from some other pulls, in the Midwest, some places we've never been before, and some places we have been before. And I'm hoping to add, maybe a couple of new ones to the schedule at least for next year.
Nice. Is it true that Mike Idle is buying Otts Allison that's for sale? Did you hear that rumor?
That's what I heard. He was drinking with the neighbor and did not tell his wife.
Wait. You better slow down. You're going to get me in trouble on the internet and in real life.
I guess he's finding out now. I don't know how much Mike put down on it, but what kind of deal he worked.
I think it was $500, I think. And he's going to make monthly, that Missouri teacher salary. Mike's loaded.
Yeah, it's we reached an installment. We're going to go for 978 months at 36% interest. So,
hey.
I mean, I know a guy that does home loans, Mike.
Yeah.
Guys, if I could do pulling loans, I'd be rich because I get that question at least once a day. So it's all good. Ron, what's been your biggest takeaway or biggest surprise, or just your maybe top 3 highlights of the Outlaw season to date? Like, because you see all of them. You're up there in that announcer stand, got a sexy voice.
Some things that stand out in my mind. Let's take the mod class. Let's go to the 7,400 mod class, for instance. Cameron Neves, been chasing a title for a long time, changes his tires, and boom, the whole combination comes together. Now he's been dominant in the modified tractor class. All it took, he had the chassis, he had the motors, he had the ability to drive the tractor, he had the team, but all it took was changing those tires. And I think Mike will, he'll agree with me that tractor changed, and it just turned on a dime at Bloomfield, Iowa this summer.
put the whole shots on, and they said they were curious to see. And yeah, he what he rattle off, Ron, like 4 or 5 consecutive wins or
something like that. Yeah, and
top 2 finishes or something. So,
and yeah, it's definitely paid off for him. And then something that stood out, and I meant to mention this last week on Outlaw Live, something that stood out from Wisner in recapping that pull, and it's been sticking with me in my mind here, is Kent Urban's tractor, the stud mule. If you remember, I think it was Friday night, because he hurt the motor. He bent some push rods Friday night. Didn't come back Saturday night, but he had tried a different cam in those motors. And he was running 37, 38 miles an hour mid-track. And Mike and both looked at each other like, oh my God, they're going to have to shut him down at the other end. And he bent those push rods. And he told me, he said, I think with that cam, I just didn't elongate the push rod openings in the head. But if he gets that figured out and consistently starts coming to some pulls, wow, that thing is going to be. Of course, that's just speaking in one class. The Thorntons, they're up on the screen behind you. I've been saying lately they've monopolized the 4-wheel drive class.
No.
They're always right there, if not the top.
Did they go top 3 in Madison Saturday night, Ron?
Yeah, they're a tough team to beat. There was some carnage in Madison for sure in the 4-wheel drive class. It was a tricky track for them. But yeah, the Thorntons have been pretty dominant there in the modified 4-wheel drive class this year. And that's Ryan Thornton leading. Ramrod, I think, is second right now in points. The Ritters in third, and then I think the defending points champ Murray Thornton Thumper in 5th in points right now. So they're right there in the top 5 for sure. That's a pretty good shot right there behind you. He really saved that thing there, Wisner.
Mm-hmm. That truck, they just got this out this year, right?
They had it last year, late last year. They made a test hook with it. They pulled in Bedford last year.
Okay.
Bedford, of course, that pull in September, coming up here in a couple of weeks, Bedford, Iowa.
Which Kenzie's getting, we're going to go to Saturday night in Madison, South Dakota. This is, which Christian, is it the dad?
Nick? Dean, yeah.
Dean. Okay, Nick's the boy. So you can see here.
Yeah, this was a rough ride, and of course, to watch it in the slow-mo is pretty wild. It looks like the whole thing's coming apart. But
the one before him bounced pretty bad too, and then Ritter's got kind of squirrely also. It looked like that track was claiming some victims that night with that class.
Yeah, it definitely was. Ritter's,
I felt like Rock Valley last year,
2023. That was
Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, it's right there at the starting line where they're trying to get it rolling and get in the throttle. And Ritter's, I think they thought it was going to iron out there, and then it smoothed out and then got rough again for them.
Ron, I'll tell you another story that's been kind of fun, and we're keeping on our radar because it's not quite wrapped up yet. Is Brady Gosler looking to pull off the perfect trifecta, with the Outlaws going to multiple points championships, introducing a regional level class, as well as the Holganix Midwest Summer Sweep, which has just been something that's been nothing but positive feedback from every driver you talk to. And Brady, I believe, is already wrapped up and won 2 of those, right? And is leading in the national point standing. So he's looking to go national, regional, and sweep championship series, all 3 of those.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to go there with something that stands out for the season. That sweep, the Holganix Midwest Summer Sweep, has been phenomenal this year. The added money coming from Holganix Midwest, they doubled the money from last year. Of course, last year they did 5 classes, $25,000. This year they did 11 classes and $50,000. And talking like maybe next year, maybe even a bigger deal.
What kind of money did the sweeps winners get, Ron?
We broke it down to 5, the top 5 placings. And for the most part, Jason, there's 6 to 8 hooks for most classes in the sweep. And it's, I believe it's $1,750 for the winner, broken down into 5 different placings. But that's a sweep within the point series within a point series there. And then, like Mike said, the regional. We know we expect the pullers to hook a lot with the Outlaws. Up over 20 hooks, 24 plus hooks, depending on your class. So we listened, and last year we looked at it, and Kurt said, let's have some regions. The ones that have the most hooks, let's have some regional hooks. They'll have their own point series. They don't have to pay anything additional to get in that region. They're just automatically in. They'll get paid out separate, but it's kind of optional. They don't have to break their machine to go to that region to stay in the national. So I think it worked out good. And Mike said, Brady Gosler about to pull off a trifecta here if he can hang on and fend off Andrew Meister's late season charge here.
Tough one to be fending off, though. That one can win at the drop of a hat, and there's been a lot of hats dropped recently, it feels like, because he's racking up the big finishes.
Yeah, Brady came out swinging over the weekend. He's not going to go away quietly.
No, but that's one of those fun stories too, because he finished second last year. It was a good heavyweight battle with him and Mark Wiggins going back and forth last year. So you kind of felt like he was due, and it felt like if there was going to be a year, this was his year. And it's fun to watch drivers when they know they're in that position to capitalize on it and have that confidence. And he's kind of built that year for himself.
Yeah, I think another big story, Kyle Karstens, a couple of guys in pro stocks, actually, Kyle Karstens and Greg Jaeger.
Yeah.
And this guy's doing a phenomenal job in that pro stock class this year. The light modifieds doing what they do for the Outlaws. Awesome class. Light modifieds, the variety of power plants and tractors in that class just amazes me, and the fans love it. And that class, when we first started reintroduced that class 4 years ago. We got a handful of hooks, and it wasn't hard to sell. It really wasn't. And folks that were on the fence, so give them a try. Now we're at that point where it's like, we got to tell people, no, you can't have that class. We don't want them hooking 30 plus times a season. So, a lot of good things happening with the Outlaws. It has been a busy season. 5 events left, 3 weekends for us. We take Labor Day weekend off, and then we come back and go to Bedford, Iowa, and then on to Spencer, Iowa, which has traditionally been like the season finale for us. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. We're in Unionville and Buckner after Labor Day weekend, and then Bedford and Spencer. And then we take a few weekends off and then go to Lufkin, Texas, the last weekend of October to finish off the season. That pull, of course, Jason, you went there last year, you and Kinsey, and it gets bigger every single year, and is going to be one of the great ones, I think, for the Outlaws. As long as these guys keep putting that event on, it just keeps growing and gets better and better.
Well, it's cool having a semi-truck drag races and the truck show during the day, and then they top it off with the pulling, and they have a big band at night too. So, yeah, pretty fun.
And they admitted, last year to me, they said, what, we asked the fans, what's your favorite part of this event? And I was kind of surprised by it, literally, because there was so much focus on the drag racing. And they said, hands down, everybody says the truck and tractor. So they said that's where we're going to focus most of our attention to build it and grow it. And that's music to my ears, because I love that event. I think it's a great cause for veterans, and I love seeing it grow.
I like going to Texas in October and not July. So, White Right was really, really warm this year. So we were down there. So
can you say that 5 times real fast, Jason? White Right
was really, really warm. White Right was
White Right
was really, really warm.
Did you say Willy warm?
I did.
You're
awesome.
Nope.
Well, Ron, thank you for coming on tonight, sir. It was great to have you on. Tomorrow, who are you talking with tomorrow night on Outlawed Live? Who do you got lined up?
I've got nobody lined up just yet. Right now, it's me and this guy named Mike Idle.
Okay.
Ever heard of him?
You could do better, but he works in a pinch. So
last week it was just the two of us, and we talked for damn near 2 hours. So
did you guys hit the go live button? Did you remember to do that?
Yes. Yeah,
I don't know. That was on. I'm the secondary announcer. That's one of his duties.
Here's my post-it note on my screen, guys. Because
like
go live, so I don't ever forget that.
Yeah. You have so many. Kenzie has so many post-it notes she forgets half the things
I
she's
only
supposed
have
to do.
3 right now.
So, well, Ron, thanks for coming on tonight. And Unionville, Friday, September 6th, Buckner, September 7th, next up. So enjoy a weekend off, sir. So,
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
cool.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Ron.
See you, Ron.
Ron Stone, the voice of the Outlaws. John Mears. Him and Christy, I think, are like L